Relationship Hour. We're at SYLK'S. We're at 21300 Libby Rd. And we are live, y'all. Come and join the conversation. We'll be talking about relationships, everything about relationship. And this is a no judgment zone. So, we talk about things and we only have one life, one set of experiences that we go through. But when we come together as a collective, we can learn from each other without bumping our heads on every single thing. I'm Kenya Brown, and today with me on the panel now, we have David M. Gully, who is an author, actor, model, speaker, philanthropist, visionary, musician, and mold breaker. What's going on, David?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Thank you. You're looking all sharp. You got your suit. You got your pocket. I love that. Always well-dressed man. I've seen him in many ads and different things. But tell us a little bit about what you got going on. You got books going on. You got a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, good to be here, Kenya. I have a book called Legally Blind. It's a book about my mom who was blind and been blind since she was 2 months old. So the book talks about how we navigated through life together and how we overcome different hurdles together. One of them being not knowing my dad at all. First time seeing him was in a casket at 9 years old. So just how we managed to, even though life happens, we happen to life. So it was, Then I have a lot of things in the entertainment field as far as modeling, acting, been in some movies, been in some commercials, and I have a choir as well that just recorded a live album concert this past weekend. So.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's been
wow.
Great. It's been great.
That's some talent right there. He's like, I'm just gonna get all the checks. And speaking of all the checks, my girl right here, she definitely gets all the checks. Miss April Thompson, this woman is never afraid of an opinion. So, listen, make sure y'all get your popcorn and sit down because you want to hear what this young lady has to say. But my girl April, she has been doing her thing. I admire this woman so much because she's so tenacious. She's such a role model. She does so many things in the community. April, tell them a little bit about what you're doing now.
Well, hi. Thank you for having me, Kenya, first of all. This is my retirement year, actually. 25 years as a private chef to professional athletes all over the world. I am currently just taking one Cleveland Cavalier as a favor. And I've been writing nutritional programs for the Cleveland Clinic for endocrinology and functional medicine as an independent contractor. That's been amazing. I have a herbal bath product line that is being featured in Crate and Barrel and vetted to become a permanent product. I also have a culinary comic book that is now in 9 schools across the country. And I am just living my best life. I am also still on, very active within the steering committee at Tri-C for the Hospitality Management Program and the Ronald McDonald House of Cleveland. So, thank you, Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, y'all. So we're going to get into the first question. How do you forgive family that has wronged you? Anybody want to hit that?
I don't.
How do you forgive family that has wronged you?
I'm not a forgiving person when it comes to people in general. Because this is how I feel. Now, family, you don't get to pick those, okay? But sometimes family can be the most toxic people that are in your life. And so when I got to like a certain point of self-discovery, I was just like, no, like I have to create the type of life I deserve. And as an adult, there's nothing you can do about childhood trauma other than heal it when you become an adult. But then like for me, I'm just kind of done. I'm over it. Like, and that doesn't mean an attitude or anything like that, but depending on what it is, I'm probably gonna just pray for you, and move it forward.
So there's no road to redemption.
There can be, but again, I don't know. I'm a demonstration person, so I can feel having like that one conversation to express like what has happened and how it may have affected me, and then you expect for people to make a change, And a lot of people aren't prepared to do that, and they rather go back and forth with the reasons why this happened, why this continues to happen, instead of taking an accountability and making an actual change. And that's just family, friendships, relationships, yeah. And so I like accountability because it's taken me a long time to get to be that person where, you know what, I was kind of wrong in this, so let me go back and see if I can fix this. Let me go back and just be accountable for my part in it. So yeah, I will have like one if that conversation, and I'm moving forward. Because I always feel like if today is my last day here, what did I spend it focused on? It won't be that.
So what does accountability look like for you? So does that mean that if that person doesn't do exactly what you say, then they don't get forgiven? Or
No,
what is that?
not at all. Accountability is just acknowledging how I was made to feel in that moment. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that they're right. And definitely, because it can always be like something about an intention. It wasn't my intention to make you feel like that. And that's fine. But this is how your actions made me feel. And the response to that is always what makes me have my decision on whether I can repair it or move forward. If you gaslight me and tell me how, well, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean it that way. It doesn't matter how you meant it. What matters is your action gave me this result. There needs to be an apology and a change, which is the same thing I have to offer you. And if I don't get that, it doesn't matter who's right, wrong, who needs you to do. Yeah, it's just, I'm done. I don't have the time for that. So.
All right. What you got to say?
I think it more so depends on how you were wrong.
What you mean?
If it was intentional, if it was something intentional to really hurt me, now we may have some different type of issues where I may still forgive you for your own situation, but I may not deal with you again. Like for me, I am a forgiving person. I know that people make mistakes. I made a lot of them coming up, you know what I'm saying? And I still make mistakes to this day. But at the end of the day, for me, nothing that I'm doing that might hurt you will be intentional. So if you feel like I did something to you, family or friend, bring it to my attention and we can address it. So I mentioned before, like I say things pretty much directly how they are. I'm not really interested in sparing feelings. But, just simple as that. If I say something and I meant it, I don't think for me it's not intentional to hurt your feelings, but I meant what I said.
So you've never had to forgive somebody for something that they've done?
Yeah, I have. And
Okay.
depending on what it is, I can forgive them and leave them where they at. Like I don't have an issue with cutting strings.
Oh, so we got some string cutters around here.
Yeah,
Y'all just cutting them off.
But it
Cut,
depends.
snip, snip. Okay.
It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
So, April, right?
Yes.
I'm a very much of a debater, but you said it perfectly.
Thank you.
It don't matter how big or small it is. If I bring it to your attention that it affected me in some type of way, there needs to be some type of level of accountability because you're in relation with me, whether it's family, friends, romantic, whatever that looks like. Now, the only thing I would add is forgiveness is not for them, but it's for you. It's for you, so that you can do what you said and really move on. That was like very well put. A lot of people lack accountability. They make so many excuses, which then turns them to another conversation of being a narcissist.
Exactly.
Because at that point, you have no empathy and everything is only about you, and you don't care about what someone else has brought to you. It could be the way you do certain things. We all come from different backgrounds, which is understandable. But if you're considerate enough to take on what I'm telling you, then that shows your real character.
Just to what you just said, like, you hurt my feelings when you said that we all have to be accountable. The point that I'm making is the way that you say something to me and how I receive it could be two different things, right? So you don't necessarily owe me an apology for feeling the way you feel. So when you express to me how you feel, if I take it away that wasn't intended, then there's no apology necessarily needed. So when you're saying to be accountable, like for which, and I was just being facetious when I said that. When you said that, for lack of better words, you don't need to apologize by the way you made me feel if your intentions was good. Just because you said something and I took it wrong and it hurt my feelings, we'd be walking around apologizing all day long just for expressing our feelings. So, just on that part right there, everything else I'm with you. That part, I can't ride with you on that one.
I was just speaking to her part about forgiving people.
No, I was responding to what you said about that.
About the forgiveness is not for them, for you.
No.
And I was saying, like, if someone hurt your feelings, if they made you feel a kind of way, that they, just because your feelings got hurt, they don't owe you an apology.
Yeah, you said that
we would be apologizing all the time.
You said that you need to be accountable for what you say to somebody if you hurt their feelings or if their feelings are hurt. I don't agree with that.
So if you're in a situation with someone that you call that say that you love,
okay,
and because something that they felt, they were offended by what you said, you don't think there needs to be a conversation?
A conversation.
That's accountability.
It's a possibility that we can have it, but like, how can I put this? It's very simple, okay? Bottom line, if I say something to you and my intention is good, and you choose to take that and turn it around, because we deal with that on a day-to-day with everybody. Everybody's entitled, everybody's in their feeling, everybody feeling a certain type of way. However they want to feel about it is the way that they're going to feel about it regardless. So if you tell me that you feel a certain type of way, I am not going to apologize to you about what I said. Now, what I might apologize about is the way, hey, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but it is what it is.
But we're not talking about everybody. We're talking about people that you are in commune with. So
Let's say it's my mother.
I'm just between me and you.
Right.
You say something to me, I don't care.
Right, simple.
That don't bother me. But if me and April are together, or it's my cousin or somebody that I'm close to, she should care. If she doesn't, that then tells me where I put you in my life. So if that means that you don't care about what you did to me, whether it's good intention or not, that means I know where I stand in your life, and then I'll make that decision to remove myself and give you that type of level of control, or not control, but a level of influence or care that I have for you then.
Yeah, and we would leave it at that. But at the end of the day, for me, I don't care if it's my mom, if it's my child. If I say something, I'm saying it because this is the way that I feel. So why in turn would I turn around and be feeling like I said something wrong because you don't like what I said? I just don't.
And then that's selfish.
Very.
Very selfish.
Sometimes it's okay to be selfish if that's how you feel.
Not if you're in commune with somebody, it's not. Because that means you only care about what you think about and not have any empathy on what they might feel or care about. That means you're very selfish.
Okay, well, I'm selfish.
He said, okay, I'm selfish. Okay. All right. We're going to move on to the next question. Unless y'all want to hit that anymore. Okay. What do you think is necessary for men or women to feel safe to fully love and be loved in a relationship?
One more time.
What do you think is necessary for men and women to feel safe to fully love and be loved in relationships?
I'm going to let David answer that one.
So I was on Family Feud. I'm going to ask you to repeat that question one more time.
So I'll repeat it because I wrote it. What do you feel is necessary for a man or a woman to open up and to be open to being fully loved and to reciprocate that love?
I can speak to this so clearly. I think it's a level of being vulnerable. And through that comes the trust. But it has to happen from both parties. Um, uh, but I think it's a word called chance, risk. You have to be able to take those risks to actually be in the place to really fall in love or be in love with someone. But the moment it happens is when we can go back to the situation where we are selfish, where it's only about what I want and what I can get out of this, what I want to say. I've been in several situations because I want to be loved, where I gave things and gave myself and different things to the situation, and it wasn't reciprocated because of maybe past traumas or different things that they dealt with. But it's a choice. It's a choice.
Okay. Now, do you have to feel safe to be in love?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what does that safety look like then? Because
safety is different from men and women, though.
Exactly.
Because what society has given men is that if you are vulnerable to make someone feel safe or tell how you need to feel to be safe, then that's not accepted in this culture. That makes a man look soft or weak or he's not strong, which it actually does, because a woman needs security. A woman needs affirmation. It's certain things that she needs so she can feel safe. You can't expect somebody just to give you something without you showing them what they need. But the woman has to be vocal to say, this is what I need to feel safe.
A lot of times now I feel that, I'm going to talk about my personal circumstance, that men feel that, I guess, over these past few generations, or I don't know when all this shifted, where they aren't required to give so much, because we're making our own money, we have our own stuff, we have kind of become the men, okay? So men will accuse you of being masculine, of being emasculating, of not being able to be soft and feminine, when you have played the role of being a single mother, having to work 2 jobs, go to school, do all this stuff by yourself and carry the burdens alone. And then at the end of the day, you have a man that's not pouring into you, but just occupying space, not giving you the comfort of, this is a man I can submit to, this is a man I can listen to, learn from, he is guiding me, this is a godly man. All things like that are important to give you that space to fall back into your femininity. And so until then, you still gonna be feeling like you gotta have all these walls up, like you can't get all soft because you don't know what his next move is. And the confusion is a big part of it, because people are not straightforward in what they want, what they need in order to facilitate a relationship, and just everything, everyday life. People have a whole family and be dating you for 2 years.
But you got to choose to take a risk, though, too.
Oh, you absolutely do.
Even though that's the way you have the position you had to take because you were a single mom or single woman, you have to still allow that opportunity or risk to allow someone to show you who they are.
Well, that's the problem. It's the show. And that's where I'm from, the show me state. I want to see a demonstration. I don't want to hear how much you like me and how much you're going to do. I want to see action. Love is an action.
Absolutely.
And so without that, no, there is no safety. I'm coming in like this.
Now, I got my married folks, my married folks that's been married for a long, long time.
No.
Now,
I just like to call it the show me state because I always need it.
so as far as safety, to feel like you can be in love with somebody, do you feel that kind of goes along with, I don't know, I just feel like
it's the show. It's the show me. It's the make me believe.
But did you get that at the beginning? Did you
Yes.
get that consistent showing at the beginning? Did you know that he started off being the man that he is today way back when?
Yes. Before he was my boyfriend, my man, whatever, we were friends. So I observed
Yes.
him, in situations, and you can tell a lot about somebody. That's why I tell people you got to be somebody's friend
Yes.
before you become romantically involved, lovers, whatever that is. You got to see them You got to see them out and about. You got to see them in the world. You got to observe them in different. How do they treat people who make them upset? How do they treat people who make them, think I'm better than you? How do you treat the waiter at the restaurant? You observe a person and you determine their character, and that's what will let you decide if you can trust that person with your heart.
Even in showing you in the characteristics of narcissism, there is that show that they can put on.
Your representative.
Your representative.
Your representative.
And it's not exactly who they really are.
But even at a certain point, the representative gonna slip. The representative gonna slip, and you're gonna see what they really about. It's a lot, but it's a vibe. If you around somebody a lot, and something about them just plucks your spirit, go with that. Everybody that you meet and date ain't gonna be the one. So.
I agree, but it's different for me.
Okay.
I'm the type of person where she didn't have to show me. I just needed somebody to believe in me, because I can do everything that need to be done. So when she showed that she can believe in me, that was cool for me. But on the flip side for her, I had walls built up from different people in my past. So I didn't show her at first. You know what I'm saying? I showed her I was a nice guy, but when she needed me, I wasn't there. And I had to tell her later on, this is why I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be honest with her.
That right there we just heard, it's called a level of accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he ended up being somebody different than he started out to be, so.
But for the better.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. What you got to say?
I think every situation is going to be different. Each person requires something different. There's no definitive right or wrong, or this is the way you have to be. I think at the end of the day, like whoever's meant to be is going to end up together. We're going to cross paths and we're going to fill each other out. The way you need to be loved may not be the way she need to be loved, or the way I need to be loved may not be the way he need to be loved, which makes us feel, quote unquote, safe.
What would make you feel safe in a relationship to let down your walls?
That's actually a loaded question, because different people, again, can bring different things out of you. One thing I may accept from her, I may not accept from her, or, but I think good communication is a great foundation, like the basics. Good communication, be honest at all times when you want to and when you don't. Just the basics. Hey, put that on mute. Put that on mute. That ain't Jesus' turn it off.
All right.
Yeah, but I think every situation is different. There's no definitive right or wrong answer to this, but overall, you just got to build a foundation, and whatever your foundation consists of is what's going to make you feel safe to the point to continue to build that relationship.
But it seems like that's a big deal, because if you're looking to, date someone, if you're looking to date April, or if you're looking to date somebody like David, you need to know what that looks like. If somebody is saying, hey, I need to feel safe before I can be vulnerable to you, what does that even look like?
Hey.
What does that look like? Because, a lot of people might not have the forethought to say, what would make you safe? You know what I'm saying? What would make you be able to open up your heart to me? And they might go about it all wrong.
Hey, Jason just kind of answered that, though. Like, everybody ain't for everybody.
Oh, that's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
I think if you gotta, this is my opinion, if you gotta have that conversation and lay it out to the point where, like, most people are gonna conform to who they want. Like, remember back in the day when all the men had Jerry curls because all of the women love guys with curls, right? And then they went, I'm just saying, they went to brush waves.
Till your pillowcase got messed up.
Tore that case up. All the guys went to brush waves. All the guys went to bald heads. They got all the guys wearing dreads now, right? I think that once you show like what your interest is, and you start to have that conversation, like this is what I want, quite naturally that person is going to conform to who you want them to be for the moment. And like she said, that representative is only going to last for so long. But if you, in my opinion, if you skip that conversation and you just be yourself and let that person decide, hey, I like this or I don't like this, or just be yourself. You don't have no pressures. You're not trying to be who they want you to be. I think that it'll flow a whole lot smoother, in my opinion.
All right. Well, David, I'm gonna let you close this out. What does safe look like to you?
Communication.
All right.
Communication is key to anything in life. Listening and communication, not just talking to be understood, but seeking to understand. You have to be able to care enough and be selfless that if you're trying to be with that person.
What if she has a good heart? She just don't know no better.
That goes out the door.
She don't know no better. You gonna
Too
spend a little
old for
time.
we don't know no better. Like that is played out, and
It's
a lot of
excuse.
people use that again, so they don't have to be accountable for
Absolutely.
gaslighting, hurting your feelings, wasting your time,
Absolutely.
doing random stuff. Nobody has time for that.
It is a definite answer, because if I'm trying to be with you, whatever you say is what I need to be adhering to.
And vice versa.
Period. It's not a variable.
And that is how you show up for somebody, and that is how you make them feel safe.
And
on
that's
both sides.
where most things go wrong, because we don't communicate how we really feel. And then we have to try to, let me think and guess, but you don't know because you haven't been in tune to even know where she is or he.
Or being fearful to communicate what you really want. Because if I come on to a date and I'm saying all of this stuff for a man who is not mentally prepared for me, then I'm asking for too much. I'm overwhelming. I'm like, oh, she tripping, she and all these demands. Absolutely not, sir. I'm trying to see where your head is at and to see if we need to go out again.
Then it goes
because
back
I
to
can
him.
buy my own seafood.
Period. It goes back to him. Everybody then ain't for each other.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that's what the dating process is. So you date people to see if you are compatible. You see how they vibe. I agree with her so much. You got to be friends first, because I'm going to see how you treat everybody. I just want to see when everything fall apart,
Where you at?
what you going to do? You going to punch me in the ear? What's going to happen? Like, because you just never know how people are. Look at the news today. Like, people are flipping out, killing their spouses, doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
that's a fact.
I want to know all of that. I want to know all your history. Do you talk to your mother? Do you talk to your kids? All of that. I need to know all of that. Did you grow up with a father? And not saying that you can't be but I grew up in a two-parent home, which I'm quick to tell a man I don't have daddy issues, but I know exactly how a woman is supposed to be treated, and I know my duties as a woman too. I'm old school, so I understand that. But I'm not going to settle for less either, just to be like, oh, I'm in a relationship and I have a man. Absolutely not.
What you got on this?
Question, I'm kind of confused with this word safe and then love. Are we talking about just a feeling? Are you scared to open up? Or, I mean, what's the most that happen? I mean, you can be hurt. Are you scared to be hurt?
Absolutely not. So safety in what I'm saying, in my thoughts, this is just my opinion of a relationship, I want to be able to openly communicate with you. If in fact we have something going on, I want to be safe to come to you to talk about it. I have 4 businesses that I run all by myself. I want to be safe to come to you and tell you what people did to me in the streets today, and expect that even if you don't have an answer, I'm going to be comforted. I'm going to be listened to. You're going to hear me, not to respond, but to actually understand what I'm going through, and you'll have something else to offer. I want to be safe in knowing that if everything falls apart for me, just like I would be for you, you would be there for me. So it's that security, emotional, mental, financial, spiritual. And when I say financial, I don't mean somebody taking care of me, because I come with mine, the whole table. But I'm talking about I want us to be able to grow and build. I want to date a man. I don't want to be raising somebody's son at this age. This is the 3rd quarter. I don't want no starving artist. I'm not dating potential. I'm not doing none of that. And I ask for no less than I'm willing to give.
So you're actually looking for a guarantee?
It's not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee. And that's what I'm saying. All my stuff could fall apart tomorrow. But where you going to be at?
That word safety also is tagged with more so in my mind when I hear it of emotional and mental. Because a lot of times people can't even express how they feel because of what's going to be said in return. And that's where that other friend comes on the side that can listen to what the person is actually saying and actually pour into them what you should be doing.
Well, I'm going to just close it out with this. Like, I don't know where y'all finding these perfectly formed humans at that just are perfectly adjusted and do everything right the first time.
Why would it be perfect though, Kenya? Nobody said that.
My
Not
point
one
is
word.
that after 26 years, these are things that we grew to. He didn't grow up like I did, so you know the things that would have been a trigger for me wouldn't have been a trigger for him, and he would have been like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Like I hurt your feelings. Like what is wrong with you? You acting like a girl, or I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know that is. It's all a teaching process. It's been okay. Well, I didn't know that this was a trigger for you because of something that happened in your childhood with your mom or with
also
whatever.
saying
So
20-something
we
years.
don't come in. When you come into relationships, to me, you're healing each other. You are coming in and say, hey, I got part and you got a part. And maybe if my part and your part can get together, I can look out and try to heal something in you, and you gonna try to look out and heal something in me. But I mean, I just don't know the people who wouldn't F it up at some point.
Well, here's the thing. We're not talking about middle school relationships.
No, I'm talking about grown people.
So we're talking about people that have been through some things, and what she said is that I'm giving you what's going on with me. I'm allowing you to know this is a trigger for me. Now what you do with it is then now how I'm going to respond.
But in a day-to-day, so we got that trigger down, you know what I'm saying? But in a day-to-day, week after week, month after month, year after year, you're going to hit landmine after landmine, after trap, after falling off the cliff, after everything. You're not going to be able to just hit everything and be like, you know what? Brrr, this is my whole life. And you better not step on this. Don't step on that crack. You break your mama back.
That's not what it is, though.
No, but what I'm saying is that people make mistakes
we get that,
all the time.
But here's
people
the thing.
need grace.
It's a every time, everything. So, okay, to your account, yes, this bothered me here. Okay, we dealt with that. 2 months later, this might come up.
We deal with
Absolutely. I'm not saying, the one time, it's not one strike, you're out. It's how do you deal with this one thing and then how you deal with the next thing. I'm totally agreeing with that. It's not an all or nothing type thing. There will be things that come up that you didn't even know 10 years later. I'm sure people have been married, something comes up. But the fact of the matter is, every time, just like if you're a Christian, you sin, you want God to forgive you every time you sin. Correct? So it's the same thing with a relationship. Okay, this comes up, let's deal with that. The next thing comes up, let's deal with that. It's not an all or nothing thing like, if you do this one thing wrong, then it's just doomed.
And you've been blessed, just like you said, you got 20-something years in. I know y'all's relationship, and y'all's relationship has been solid, like through the storm. Yes, I'm not saying perfect, I'm saying solid. I mean, as far as sticking beside each other, absolutely it has. So that's great because you had 20 years. If I give somebody 20 years, I'm going to be 73. I'm good on that. So what I need is somebody that's an adult, and that's right now. I ain't got no 20 years. And that's all I'm saying. I don't need you to be perfect, but what I do want you to have grown with somebody. And then as far as healing, this is just my opinion. I'm not here to heal you. I want two whole people to come together and build something beautiful. I'm not here to heal your past traumas and your daddy issues and your mama didn't hug you and Aunt Susie was on drugs and had to raise you. I'm just not here for it. For me, my type of person, I'm not here to heal.
No, listen, I get it.
No, it's not a perfect mate. That's not a perfect mate. But that's not my job.
That's what she wants.
How many men have you dated?
Huh?
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Men and women, we are totally different. So whereas she might need a different kind of comfort from you, when a man is broken and really, really needing something and has all these traumas, it will cause him to beat you. It will cause him to cheat on you. It will cause him to be incapable of loving. Let him get his. I'm not saying that you have, sir. Listen to comprehend me. I'm not saying that you beat no woman.
You said that a man responds in this way, right?
A man who is not healed from what has plagued him in the past is definitely a possibility.
They
Once
can.
again,
They
you see it
can.
happen
They can
every
funnel
day.
it that way.
Yeah, they can fall into that. Some. I didn't say all. I don't know all men.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm about to be 48, okay? 10 years ago, I had issues that I didn't even know I had. I had to see a psychiatrist. In our community, we're not dealing with that. So I'm not saying you don't have 20 years, but it's a lot of men and women who still ain't healed from their past traumas. So when you meet somebody, it's going to be a very small group of people who got their stuff together.
But they
And that's her
exist.
choice.
And that's all I'm saying.
That's
That's
her
why I
opinion.
keep saying it's my opinion. I'm not saying that it's right or that it's for anybody, but I'm saying with my opinion because I have done the work to heal my traumas. It's an awful little part of my childhood. I had a lot of healing work to do before I would even be comfortable in dating somebody. I had to take 2 years to heal from my last relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I always try to do the work because I don't want to bring nobody my BS because it's not your job for that. And for me, just for me, when I come into your life, whether I'm your best friend, whether I'm your child's godmother, whatever I am, I want to give you the best experience possible. All I'm asking for in return, that's just effort, accountability, compassion, love, friendship. Not perfection. I've never said that one time.
So,
But it's not my job to heal you.
okay, I understand what you're saying. So just say hypothetical, you meet somebody and you see they have trauma and stuff. Are you willing to just...
That's a non-negotiable for her.
She got them track shoes on.
That's fine.
She out.
Unhealed trauma. And then we keep saying, I'm so glad you said that, sir, because you are exactly right, saying that we don't go to therapy and we do that. I would like to meet somebody that does. Be actively in therapy dealing with your stuff. I'm in that. But you trying to deal with it with some Hennessy or going out or doing whatever. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I hear you whispering, come on up here. You got attitude of what I'm saying, baby. You sitting there on a date. Come up here. And so let's talk about it. Come on.
So just to be clear, what I said when you said, see, I said, no, Crown Royal. But I'm going to still say, I was just listening to what you said, and you said that you were like a man that you could come home and talk to about how fucked up your day was and how that's going on in X, Y, and Z. So my question was like, you okay with dealing with the new trauma that he had or the new drama that he got going on from day to day, but just his old drama, he got to get rid of that before he meets you and create new drama going forward.
That's a difference. It's not trauma compared to what you just went through. She could have just lost a client by something that's happened, or she cooks, so something could have happened at the event that went wrong. She needs to just come home and be like, babe, this happened like this. I don't know if I should fire this person or if I should do this. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about dealing with, oh, you got mommy issues, so every time something happens, you calling your mama first before you talk to your girl. There's two different things there.
So new drama.
It's not drama. It's trauma and drama. They sound the same, but they're not the same.
Let me finish my question. New trauma and new drama is okay, but old drama and old trauma isn't.
She's saying she doesn't
She
have
said
time.
unresolved.
Unresolved. She said if you're trying to get healed, she can work with that. But she's talking about somebody who's stagnant, sitting at home, not making the choice to move forward, but staying in what they want to do so they can play victim and woe is me.
So she talking about the person sitting
Me
up
and
there.
David go together now. I just want y'all to know. David, I don't know. We go together now. Thank you. Because David hear me. He hear me.
He heard you, girl.
Hear me.
He heard you. No, but listen, we did come together and heal each other in a lot of different ways, but As an older woman at this point, if I were a dating person, then no, I'm with you.
And that's all I'm
you
saying.
You got to get your
I
life
know people
together.
aren't perfect. I'm not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Yeah.
But because of what you've been through, you decide which door you won't go through ever again.
That's it.
So the part is,
That
most
one.
people that's still talking, they continue to go through a revolving door. And that's why they wonder how their life never changes and why they're still in the same place with the same mindset, because they have a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset.
Oh,
Well, you know,
Might
I
be
think
a
that growth comes out of necessity. I think growth comes when you are ready to heal something in you, but it's nothing that anybody can really suggest
Nope,
for
it
you.
has to be something for you.
All right, y'all. So let's talk about something different, please.
I mean, I'm curious.
Should you be concerned if your new guy is best friends with an openly gay man?
Uh-oh.
If your new guy is best friends with an openly gay man?
Should you be concerned if your wife is friends with a whore?
Ooh, should you?
It's the same. It's the same.
So wait a minute.
How come it's not?
Wait,
It's the
how
part
is
of
it the
tru-
same?
In my mind, it's the part of trust in that matter. If you know,
he went back to the
Your
Bible
friend a
on y'all.
whore.
She is a harlot, and you are not going out with her.
See that's why you can't tell.
It is.
That's why you can't be pillow talking with your band, talking about your girlfriend's hotels, because he gonna judge her and you ain't gonna be able to go out with her no
So
more.
today, in today's society, people might look at it funny. I don't know. I just really don't know. If I know my man, like trust my man, I wouldn't automatically think, now don't listen.
This new guy,
Don't keep falling asleep over his house or nothing, but I mean, I don't.
That's his best friend, girl.
I know.
That's his best
But
friend.
one of my best friends is a guy. I'm not gonna be falling asleep over his house ever if I'm in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I think if it's my boy and we grew up together and he do what he do, I can be friends with him.
Right.
I don't think nothing wrong with that. But as a guy, if her best friend is out there like that, I'm gonna ask her to just be careful because.
But are you gonna let her go out on the town and she might be
that actually happened a couple of times. So
City girl summer.
listen.
that she went out of town and go do the little girl thing. Go ahead, y'all kick it. Next week she talking about we going back again. No, I don't know
No,
about
you
that.
ain't.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But it all depends. It's about the trust. That's what it all boils down to. Communication and trust. If you suspect, I don't know. But if you trust that person, it should be okay.
So your woman, your wife, can hang out with. I mean, what if that is her best skanky friend? She is the
I'm
best.
not saying that. I'm just saying in my mind, and it's a double standard. That's all I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying one is greater than the other. I'm just saying it's a double standard. Because if I can be friends with my male best friend that's homosexual, and let's just take it to the extreme. Everybody know that everybody didn't have her, and you hang with her. What's the difference? It's a double standard to me. That's all.
What's your flags flying, girl?
First.
Okay.
It is a trust thing. If my best friend is kicking it with Lottie Dottie and everybody, that's her business. I'm not kicking it with Lottie Dottie and everybody. I'm at home with my spouse, but that's my girl. I don't judge her life. I wouldn't want my man to judge her life. Her life is not a reflection of me. I'm a grown up. I can make my own choices. Baby, either you trust me or you don't. The second part is the let. Let her go out with somebody. We all grown. We all grown. I ain't never had to check in with my husband to ask him, can I go anyplace? I'm as grown as he is. He
Okay.
respects my choices. So that, the let thing just kind of.
That's
Yeah.
because he got Life 360 on your phone, so he know exactly where you at.
My mama 100% with you. You don't let me do nothing. I'm right with you.
All right. Okay.
We've been grown together and apart for a long time.
So let me ask y'all this. Can you ask someone to stop having sex with others while dating if you're not having sex with them?
No.
What? Y'all
You
said
ask others. Can you ask someone to stop having sex with somebody if you're not having with them while dating?
So
I feel
you're-
like if you
you're
are dating, you can't ask them nothing. You dating.
Get on the microphone. Get on the microphone.
You're not sleeping with them. You want to preserve them. You want to
Child.
preserve them
Here's
for
the
later.
thing. Are they exclusive or not? That's the question.
Well, I guess they would want to be
Because
exclusive.
if they're not exclusive, this is like no shade to us, but the African American culture doesn't know how to date.
Okay, how you supposed to date?
Dating is that pool of I'm when I with her just to see who I can be compatible with, and then at that point, she cool, she's a good person, but this right here, I think I can build something with. At that point, there's a conversation. Hey, I've been dating, but now I would love to be exclusive just with you.
And until you say that,
Then
it's not your business.
It's not your business what I'm doing. Period. Point blank.
And it's not my business what you're doing. So no, don't ask me
Don't
not
ask
to do
me
nothing.
Wow.
We dating.
And if you got to ask me something, then you got a spirit of control, which is now showing me
They
even
gonna
more who
let
you are.
you go out.
Let me go out. Or let me go somewhere else. And I'm going to let you know what I'm going to do after that.
Yes, because dating is when you dating different people to see what you like
it's a date.
and who
Ex-
is
for you.
checking off all your stuff.
Exclusivity is where the
And
point
that
comes
doesn't
in.
always mean sex, but
Nope.
if it do and you
Then what it
date,
is. Because we grown.
mind your business.
Because we grown. Okay?
Okay, so you're married, you grown, but one person want to be active and say she want to be celibate.
You said
She was
married.
married?
No, I said if you're dating and say he wants to be exclusive, does that mean that you just
So at that point, if I'm exclusive and she wants to remain celibate until we decide to do whatever, then that's a choice I have to make to respect or not. At that point, okay, I want you that much, then I'll sacrifice my feelings because I want to be exclusive with you.
Well, I ain't doing that.
wait?
Cause I ain't bad no car without.
I got to test drive it, okay? How this turn, how this move. Is it warm seats? Is it
And the oil
the
been
recline?
changed,
Does that have a sunroof?
the tires bald.
Let me know.
I want to know.
Oh, so you gotta know what's happening first.
Automatic drive or a stick shift?
Listen, I think it's beautiful when people do that. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Beautiful. And that's what God told us to do. To, be chaste until marriage. But I feel like,
We could take that out of the context.
no, this is the thing. I'm not adjusting the Bible to my own sins, but I'm saying, like, I had a daughter and I wasn't married, so I'm already in trouble. I feel you can't, I ain't getting no extra points on me.
If you ain't in trouble, anybody want to debate me, I got a degree in it. What's up? A master's. Not what your pastor told you.
Uh-oh.
Because a lot of times we just do what we told.
A couple of my friends didn't agree with what I'm about to say,
Okay.
but as a man, I wanted to protect my daughters, right? So I set my daughters down at a young age. I say, listen, I want y'all to date. Date how many people y'all want. I'm not saying have sex with everybody, but you need to know what you like and what you don't like.
Yes, sir.
Because most women will fall for that first guy, he's swarming off her feet, the next thing you know, he's locking her in the house or something. You know what I'm saying? So, one of my daughters took it to heart. She was running them through. But my other three, they settled down, they found a nice guy, and they my son-in-law. They all got married. So, for my opinion, what I did worked. I don't know for everybody else, but like I say, I told my daughters to date. Keep dating till you find what you like.
I'm on the back end of that. My kids ain't just that old yet, but I tell her mom I'm gonna do everything in that line, in that aspect, because I don't want her to be all gung ho over some shoes or this. So whatever you want, daddy gonna buy it. So if you get it, it's like, oh, thank you, but I already know I already have this. So whatever she get, I say, I know you don't want to get her to be spoiled or a brat, but I don't want her to get to this first man and he give her a little something and she lose her mind over it.
That's exactly right.
I done bro. Me too.
We don't listen.
Y'all don't.
We don't listen. We not listening to daddy because
I
that
listen
dude
to my daddy. He's
is
amazing.
in our ear. I didn't. I ain't listened to what my daddy had to say about nothing. Right. I was like, yeah. I mean, I got back around to what daddy said, but no. I wasn't listening. Just a
Okay.
kid.
Like you said, we live and we learn.
Absolutely.
But then when you know better,
Do better.
you do better.
That's right.
Some people don't get to knowing better first, though. They stuck in just whatever they want to do.
You know what?
All right, now we're going to close it off with this. It says, deal with past traumas before entering a new relationship.
Facts. Like she said, it's not her job to heal you. That's something that you went through. Now I can support you. There's a difference. Because sometimes people do things just for the situation that they're in and not get the full restoration and healing that they need. It's important for you to deal with that.
But what if they young and I'm gonna say 25 to 30,
Okay.
and they walls are up, and they haven't dealt with those traumas. They never even
Right. They don't even know that those traumas exist.
they haven't run into the triggers.
So
I think-
I'm with you. Let's identify it together. But I think the question was about healing your trauma. That's something that you have to go for on your own trajectory, your own roadmap to deal with a counselor, a psychiatrist. I can be there to support you, but there's something that's a road that you have to take. This is somebody that has dealt with abandonment and rejection.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. With that support, are you gonna be in there for the long haul or short term?
So if I chose to be with you, it's automatic a long haul. So, so it's almost like it is. It's almost like the old saying, I could take you to the water, but I can't make you drink. I can be there. We can walk, hold hands. Listen, all right now, this is where the point where you have to take this next step. I'm still here. Hey, you see me? I'm right here. But that's a door that you got to walk through. And when you come back out, I'm right here.
Did you want to hit that? Or you done?
You know my thoughts on. I'm not doing it. I'm
she
not
ain't doing it.
And I even talk to my daughter about things like that because those things for a young person become a distraction and then it becomes a habit and it becomes the type of
that's a
energy
fact.
that you put out there and those are the type of people you will attract in your life. And so my goals in her, like I have friends, just somebody asked me the other day like, what's going on with Brianna in law school? Oh, does she have grandbabies yet? Absolutely not. Oh, why not? It's about time. How old is she now? She's about to be 31. That wasn't her goal in life. Her goal was to travel, to live, to be the top of her game, to graduate school repeatedly with perfect scores. Like that's what her mind is on. Her boyfriends and the people that she dates, she's very careful. She's very making sure about their family life and stuff. I'm sorry, it just has a lot to do with it. It doesn't matter if you grew up with a single mother or a single dad, but what has been your foundation? What's your morals? Do you believe in God? Do you have accountability for, your life? Things like that. Like what's your goals?
And the problem is we haven't had that position to our children. We just, oh, that's cute. And then they get with some idiot who, whatever. And then all hell breaks loose. And then you now flying down to law school or calling uncles and brothers and stuff because he going crazy. we wait too far along in the game to pour in what they need to get out.
Yep. And then want somebody to share your toxicity and help you heal later. Won't happen.
I'm sorry.
Unavailable.
It's not good enough.
Okay. So what if you going through your life and you have parents or family that has never had that help and they don't know how to pass it down to you to get that help, and then you meet somebody who does know, like you may know, you're saying you just all the way out of the loop.
So
you're not doing it. And you
just
do
for
know.
me.
I understand.
That's
It's
all
just
I'm
for you.
saying. I'm not saying that it's right, correct, fair, anything. For me, I don't want it.
I get it.
Yep.
But,
So,
again, but
I mean, there
like,
may
it's
be people that want to
who
do that.
just don't know how to take those steps
It
or
is.
anything because it wasn't learned. It
So
wasn't taught.
I can answer that. My mom is blind, so she's already in a point of being taken advantage of, correct? By people who can maximize off of her, maximize off of her disability. So it's already could be like a lick to a man that say, oh, I could take advantage of this. Then I never had my father. So the best thing that I did to become successful and to learn, I had to be open to learning first. And also I knew what I didn't get, so I knew what to give out of that place. So yeah, I didn't have any examples. Like most of us in the African American community, most statistics have, we have more single families than we have, whole families. So it's a choice to want to be better. It's a choice to step outside of what your paradigm is to do better. That's a choice to have to go and learn. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood, so all I saw was drugs, violence, and all that. But I chose, that ain't for me, because it confirmed when I came home from college on breaks that one time there was one group of people out, the next time I came home, they was in. So it was a revolving door of in jail, out of jail, or dead. So at that point in my life, I had to make a choice to be better and seek out different things. If you want to be a nurse, what you gonna do? You're gonna go to school, you're gonna learn to be a nurse, you're gonna get a practicum so that you can go and have a residency to be a doctor if that's what you want. So if you want to be a good father, there's certain things that you have to do. If you want to be a good man or a good woman in a relationship, you have to take the initiative to learn, talk to somebody that you might trust that show you a way. I had that in my sister. She didn't know, but she said, this is what a woman needs. Might be from her past hurt, so I took it and applied it. And as I'm saying, it says, eat the meat, spit the bones out. So I took what I thought was going, and it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to have that initiative to want to be better.
Yeah, no, I get that part. I
Yeah.
was just putting it out there.
No,
Like, some people.
So, but I did. I was one of them. Yep, I was one of them.
What you got to say, Keisha?
I keep hearing you guys say about this past trauma. It's not your job and all this. I don't know anybody who wears a sign that says, I have so much bullshit inside of me, you don't want to date me. So how do you know for sure that, oh yeah, this motherfucker fucked up, I'm not dealing with this? Because you're just so adamant, like, that's not my job, your trauma is your trauma, I don't have the time for it.
Okay, so I can talk about the last person I dated. So out the gate, always was discussing how he would be like, man, I wish I would have had my stepfather, because he never knew his real father, he was deceased or something. I wish he would have taught me more things about how to date a woman. That's one. So I'm gonna put that back to what he said. So that's one thing you need to learn. Then he got a mother that liked to smoke weed with him and kick it, and she wanted to be his friend instead of his mom. No guidance. So that's two. So these two things. Now you are 47 years old, and what steps have you taken to, okay, I see that, there are men out here, they're doing these things, this is the type of woman I want to attract, and it's certain things that you have to do. You're not working on none of this. That's a strike for me. Then as far as, having all this bullshit in, that bullshit gonna seep out. You gonna send that representative, like this lady said earlier, you gonna send a representative because he gonna ask you, what kind of dudes you like? Which is why I never answer that question, because I don't want you to be who I think who you think I want. I want you to be yourself, and then let's decide if we the right people for each other. So that's going to come out in your behaviors, in your actions, in your consistency, in all of that, in your drive, your work ethic, whatever it is, it's going to spill out. So it ain't going to take long
How
to
long
see.
did it take you to say no?
Baby, it took me, and let's be honest, because we grown, it took me about two weeks to really fully understand bad energy. It took about about a month, because that was a person that I was, comfortable Christian mingling with. So I just didn't let him go. But I knew that shit wasn't going nowhere. It was going nowhere. It was going nowhere. And then I just felt like, even at that, because he has so much that continued to spill in your actions, your behaviors, and just you not showing up for yourself, let alone, there was no potential for you to show up for me, because you didn't even have it to show up for yourself,
So
to
he
be
had
your
you
best version for you.
You didn't have not one good.
Yeah,
So
that
let-
Christian mingle. That's why it took a month.
Let me interject right there. Sometimes, well, I'm not gonna say for me, most times when you have so much to lose, you can't afford to take a risk, because you could be one decision away from ruining what you have taken on somebody else's stuff. It's not always meant to have to work out because you meet somebody. Just because you messed up, I'm gonna pray for you now, and I'm gonna leave you there.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean because you're messed up that I have to now play Dr. Phil every day and be there for your every move.
Or that I owe you, because it's so
I don't owe
many
you anything.
nice people that's really just got some other work to do.
But where I'm at right now, where I'm at in my life, where I'm positioned, you got to have much as lose I do or more.
Okay, so what did you lose to get to where you are right now, David?
Who? So,
What did you lose to get to where
Without
you are?
time, time and energy, something you can't get back. I can get money back. I got that already. But time, wasted time, you can't get that back. Bad energy, bad time, it can cost you your life. Not necessarily physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, that you can't get back. Now you in the same hole that you never wanted to get in, that they're in. They've drugged you to the place and took everything from you. There, at that point, became a pigeon or a leech. And if you know what they're, all they do is just take. And there's nothing ever poured in, so there's no balance. And you can't meet me where I'm at.
and that's what I say. When people are in your life, they never just there. They either pouring into or they draining from. And you have to decide, like, I'm going to show up for me first.
Period.
I'm going to show up for
I
God.
had to learn.
Then I show up for me. Then it's my daughter, family, and stuff, because I got to be in a complete space to
Okay,
be
12
able to handle stuff
So
too.
12 months in a year, you meet 12 guys, and none of them.
So we go to the next 12.
Where you at?
We go to the next
so
12
you go on
months.
over to this one,
Absolutely.
until you find the right one that's on where you at.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's dating for me. And dating don't always mean sex. So I don't mean like I'm Christian mingling with 12 dudes. But yeah, I'm going out to dinner. I'm going because I want to see what your interests are. Because my interests are not hanging
What are
in
your
the bar
goals?
and eating, eating all the time. Like, I love art. I love tech. I'm a whole different type of person. I want to see what your interests are. What do you think fine dining is? Do you have a suit? Do you have some dress shoes? I know I'm dressed like Bone Thugs and Harmony today, but I own my businesses, so I can dress like this all the time. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you work a 9 to 5, what are you aspiring to do within that job? Do you have your own side hustle? Do you read?
Effectively. Do you know the difference between there, and there?
Oh my God.
Listen.
Word and word. I got a whole
Listen.
shirt to say that.
I think that what it is here is that everybody ain't gonna build with you. That's just what it is. Everybody ain't gonna build with you. Some people you gotta come ready to roll with, or you might miss the opportunity. But there is a growth in growing with each other, but that's something that you might do in your 20s or your 30s,
And it's beautiful.
You might not be able to stomach somebody's bad habits when you're 40, 45, 50 years old. You ain't got time for all that.
President Obama wasn't going to marry somebody from a strip club to be run for Congress and president. It wasn't going to do that. In the level that he was at. That's the point I'm making. I'm just saying, you can meet anybody and they send that representative.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's your life, how you want to date, who you want to date, what is your love language, is your love language But what you got,
Well,
Tyrone?
this is the last thing for me. So,
Yes, sir.
me growing up, like I grew up on 123rd and Kingston. I spent some years in the projects, and I was a straight street dude. Period. Like, it was straight gutter, right? So for me, it took for me to hit like 27 to meet
Yeah.
somebody to actually show me a different way, because I just could not see it. So when I'm listening, even though I was younger, some people don't get the opportunity at 27 that I got until they 50. So I see it a little differently. Like now, I'm gainfully employed and I'm self-employed as well. I mean, it's not about money. I do decent on the money side, but at the end of the day, the point is, I'm saying, like, it took a little. I was able to get it earlier, but it took a little more for me. Long story short, do the long story short situations, but long story short, I feel like some men just need a good woman to show them the way. You know what I'm saying?
That's the woman that got time. You know what I'm saying?
Hear what I'm saying? I hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when I'm listening to this, and this could very well be me. When I'm listening to this, I hear I done got 20 years to teach a man, right? You may not. You may end up being single for 20 years. It may end up going that route for you, right? But some men don't need to be taught. Some men just need to be shown. Like when you talk about fine art, I love arts. Like so, I had scholarships. My scholarships was in art, right? So, but I can't tell you the last time I've been to see a nice photo gallery, or the last time I've been to an art museum. But I love that type of stuff, right? So, but that's something that's planned for my near future now. But I didn't know much about that before. But it took a woman to come into my life and show me. You know what I'm saying? So I just, not like you said, you're not right, you're not wrong. That's just your opinion, but I'm just giving you my experience on that, so it could be viewed differently.
And I see it from all sides. I know there are people that don't have it together, but just like it's people that do have it together. Just like I wouldn't be a type for you. Not saying that I wouldn't choose you, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wouldn't choose me, like, it's fine, but you found a beautiful woman that was there for you, that showed you the difference.
Hey, let me say this last thing, if you don't mind.
That's perfect.
One thing, like, I don't deal with my father, right, because of past trauma. But one thing that he used to always say is, like, no one man is an island, right? And I didn't understand that when I was young and he was saying it. And at the end of the day, looking at it now, it's just that we all need each other. You might have something to pour into me that I need. You might have anybody.
As a friend, I pour into you.
We all need to lean on each other to a certain degree.
I don't want to create a life for you. That don't mean I won't help you and pull you along.
So
what my father always told to me is, if today is your last day on earth, did you spend it being the best version of yourself, or did you waste it? So with my values and what I feel is important just to me, I don't have it.
And just to,
But if you need anything else, I'm gonna be your homie. Like, I mean,
and
I'm
just
all about empowerment.
to piggyback off that, just my opinion. That's okay. It's my teachings that men should be prepared to be kings, to lead, to prepare for that which is coming. So, in essence, we can work together, but I should be praying in God's face to know how to lead with your help of telling me what you think as well. It's a give take, but that man should be a leader, period.
I mean, shout out to all the strong parents out here that are instilling these great values. And for the people who haven't quite made it there on that journey, then, it's not over until you stop breathing. So, it's somebody out there for everybody. It is nobody's responsibility for anybody. But, sometimes when you can reach out and have some empathy, some compassion, a little grace for somebody, it can build something stronger, So, but we all have great experiences. We all learn from each other. We all hear these different opinions, and really that's what it's all about. Thank you guys for listening and being a part of Relationship Hour. And my guest, David M. Gully, tell them how to find you.
You can find me on my website at davidmgully.com. David M. Gully on Instagram, or Dave Gully on Facebook.
All right, Miss April, how can they find you?
I'm not really trying to be found.
She ain't trying to be found, y'all. That's my homegirl, Miss April Thompson. I know she gonna be selling some somewhere. She gonna get you money now. Yes, she's a fantastic businesswoman. I'm Kenya Brown. Till next time, y'all.